Welcome to a brand new show. This is the Curva Chronicles. It's your boy F17, aka Frederick Afrifa. I'm here with a very special co-host.
It's your boy James, aka JK. Yeah. I
Yes.
mean, where do we start? Where do we
Where do
start?
we start? I think let's talk about how we got here, what the show's going to be about,
Yeah.
and why we're here. So, if you don't mind starting.
Yeah. I'll kick us off. Kick us off. You see what I did there? Um, Basically, I mean, me and Fred, we've known each other since what, knee high, and we've always been together. Like if you know Fred, you know me, and vice versa. Obviously, as you get older, lives get busy. We don't speak as much as we used to, but nothing has changed. And the other day we went for dinner, we were speaking, spent an hour and a bit talking about football, spitting it out. Obviously, final of the Champions League is around the corner. Inter Milan, team that we do not like, against PSG. And we thought, you know what, like, why not just run a pod? And in the pod, we'll just catch up about our week, our day, and whatever, and then spit it up about football and see how that goes, man.
That's the idea, man. So, just a catch up between a couple lifelong friends, and then, as you do, a yap about football. So, that's really the idea, and I think that's you already mentioned it. Inter Milan, a team we both don't like, as you can see
Yeah,
wearing the AC Milan jersey.
yeah.
What jersey is that, bro?
This I got from Argentina, just outside the stadium of Boca Juniors.
Nice, Boca Juniors.
So got
Did you go to the
Maradona.
biggest game?
No, so when I went, it was off season, so I couldn't see any games. But I just went literally the street outside the stadium. So many fans, so many kids. I think came back from Brazil and Argentina about 10 tops.
Wow,
So maybe every episode I'm gonna try and wear something different.
different top.
But yeah, no AC Milan top on today, but that's gonna come at some point as well.
We're both Milan fans. So where do we start? Spoke about Argentina, Maradona, Napoli. I guess
Napoli.
Napoli. What do you think? Do you think they deserve to win the title?
It's been an interesting season. As much as I don't like Inter Milan, I'm gonna be very honest. I think Inter Milan deserve to win it. I think Napoli did well. Don't get me wrong. I don't think anyone believed they would have been as close at the beginning of the season. Although we all know what Conte does, so it's not a complete surprise. And also not being in any of the European competitions helps because you're focusing on the one game a week. Obviously, you got the Coppa Italia as well, but you know they came out of that. I think the last eight maybe. So then all they had was the Serie A, wasn't it? They played some good football. I watched them a couple of times, as you know, like Italian football, low block, very defensive minded, and then you score one goal and half of the games is either 1-0 or 2-0. I think most of the games, they won a lot of games 1-0, 2-0. Lukaku, as we know, has done his thing in the Serie A, Inter Milan, so it's not surprising to see him scoring goals. What I really like now is this English young player coming to the Serie A vibes to prove himself. I really enjoyed that. Obviously, AC Milan done loads of that. You got Tomori at the back, lost his cheek. Pulisic, not English, but came from the Prem. And now Napoli with the two Scotsmen. And yeah, they've done great.
Yeah, man. I think a big shout out to Conte, the first manager to win Serie A with three different teams,
Yeah,
which is really interesting. I think it also shows the transition with football in general, especially Italian football, where you had people like Ancelotti who won the league a couple times but with one team, and you have these kind of managers. Whereas Conte is one, it's like a modern manager.
yeah, which also shows how football is changing, isn't it? Right?
Yeah,
I don't know if I like that. To be fair, like yeah, fair enough. Shout out to him, of course. Like big respect, especially because he came to the Prem. He's done it in the Prem as well. Went back to Italy and done it again. But for me, a manager to manage both Inter, Juventus, and Napoli, like I think only in today's age that's acceptable.
yeah.
Like Allegri going back to AC Milan after doing about 8 years at Juventus. I don't know how I feel about that. obviously we were successful under him. We had a great team, you know. But I can't say I'm ecstatic at the fact that he's back with us.
I know.
But we know what he's done at Juventus, right? So, and all respect to Conceição because he's won us the cup. But, you know, I don't think he was the man to take us forward.
I agree, man. Moving swiftly on from Napoli, shout out to Napoli for winning the league. But yeah, Allegri got announced, and I'm still don't really know how I feel about it. I really wanted the Zerbi.
Yeah, you've been shouting De Zerbi for years. AC
Bro,
Milan fan.
he's a Milan fan. I think he's a great football man, and I think he had some problems at Marseille. So I just
Yeah.
thought, okay, this is a great opportunity. I still believe in the De Zerbi dream because I feel like hopefully Allegri, I don't think will be here very long. I think he's here to steady the ship, which at the moment is good because the thing with our management is that I think our management is really poor, right? We've got
Yeah.
these Americans, we've got Ibrahimovic, and I feel like Allegri is someone with the character to talk back or to not accept rubbish players or to,
Yeah.
you know. So I feel like out of the people that we had available, I didn't really want Sarri. I didn't really want Italiano. Bro, they were saying Italiano was going to come, the Bologna coach.
Yeah, bold guy. Bold
And
guy.
so I thought Allegri, I'll take. He plays really bad football. That's the thing. His teams don't play, and I love good football. But at the same time, we had
When's the
Pioli,
last
you
time?
know,
When's the last time AC Milan played good football anyways,
you know
bro?
what I'm trying to say? Pioli, Conceição, Fonseca. So at this point, I'd rather win games 1-0 than keep losing as we currently do.
Yeah, I just don't know. I mean, I don't think the squad. My issue is that I don't think the squad we have is bad. But I've been saying this for years, and we always come short, right? So we had that year where we won the league, bro. I still don't know how we did it. I think obviously Inter Milan came close. The last few games we won, ended up winning it. Obviously that's the game, right? You have to beat the team in front of you, fine. But even winning that league was never like, oh yeah, we're back. Do you know what I mean?
The
It was
problem
more
is,
so, yes, we made it. Finish line, got to the finish line, we finished first. Obviously, I'm going to celebrate, especially because we beat Inter to it. But it wasn't like, yeah, next year I feel like we're back here again and we can
the
compete.
problem was, bro, that league should have been a starting point. They
Yeah.
saw it as an ending point. If you look at where we were when we won the league a few years ago with Inter, it was neck and neck. We were close, we were close, we were
Yeah.
close. But Inter, if you look at the team that was in the Champions League a few years ago, final, that was the year after we won the league, and the Inter that's in the Champions League final now, 9 or 8 of the players are the same.
Same place, yeah.
So they kept consistent, whereas we've totally dismantled the team, bro. We lost Frankesi, didn't replace him. Lost Santos Schneider, didn't replace him. Giroud left, didn't replace him. And then we've kind of got a totally... Brahim Diaz was there at the time. Like,
Yeah.
we've changed so much. And I think that was the problem, that we didn't
But we
see
don't
the
have
lead at the start.
we don't have the money to compete against these teams, bro. And that's even including Inter. Like winning leagues back to back, not back to back, but in the last 3 years, obviously they won a couple of leagues, or last 4 years. And that gives you money, bro, financial backing. And also people go there and they believe in the teams and in the club's plan because there is a plan. AC Milan is plan zero, bro.
I agree, man. Because I think Inter, on the finances, Inter hasn't even spent that much. But what they do have is a system that
Yeah.
if a player comes into it, they know what they're doing. Okay, so
And they love it old man, bro. They love it old
They
man.
love, bro. They love it because look, Thuram came in to replace Lukaku, and he's done the Lukaku role. Like he knows that Lautaro's going to play next to me. I'm going to hold the ball up. Like there is clear instructions for each players.
What is crazy about
Man,
that, yeah.
vibes.
What is crazy about the Thuram is that me and my brother, I was Inter Milan fan, where we were laughing when because AC Milan wanted him as well. And obviously the season before, you watch him and you didn't really think that he was gonna come and do what he did. I'm not gonna lie.
I didn't rate
Hats
him.
off
I
to
didn't
him.
rate him.
And also, I have to give him all the respect because I didn't rate him, bro. I
Same.
didn't want him at AC Milan. And I
Same.
was so happy when he went to Inter Milan.
Same.
And then the season started, and the guy bowled out, bro. He had a very good season. That goal against Barcelona at the Camp Nou, bro. I don't
He's a
think it was
baller,
the
bro.
Camp Nou.
Even against
It didn't
us.
work.
In the first
Yeah,
half,
even against us, bro. These guys bowled out, and then me and my brother always laugh about it. Like, we're like, look, you didn't want him, I didn't want him, but look at what he's done. But yeah, Thuram, I don't know. Inter Milan is interesting because obviously they got young players, but a lot of them are like mature. Obviously, as you said, they don't really change the players too much, and when they do, they replace him like for like replacement. Um, but is an interesting one. It's annoying, right? Because when we were young, we knew AC Milan to be this massive club,
Big team, man.
and obviously still a massive club because of the history. But if someone is 10 years old now, or let's say they're born today, and they support AC Milan, they will never know what it's like.
Difficult time. They'll have a difficult time,
It's
bro.
a bit like the United situation.
A little bit, and it's tough because I guess I'll pose you the question: what do you think Milan has to do right now? If you were in charge, you're the gaffer. What are you doing? What are the 3 moves that you're making if you're in charge
This
turn,
summer,
to turn it around this summer? What are the 3 moves?
the number one, I'm selling Rafael Leao.
Let's talk about that. Rafael Leao.
I
You go
think,
first.
I think if you're watching, you might not be, but one day you might. So I have to say, all respect. I adore watching you as a player. I mean, he's so talented, bro. He reminds me of a young Balotelli, but obviously very different players because he's so skillful and so fast. When you see him running past, like, he makes it look so easy.
Easy.
So easy. The only issue I have with him is that it looks like he doesn't want to do it for us sometimes. So I've been to the stadium a few times and I've watched him play, bro. And I love football, playing and watching. And, bro, this guy will lose the ball and then walk back.
And walk. Rafael
And it's
Leao, bro.
so hurtful, bro.
I feel like if he leaves us, his career's done.
I feel like
And
if he leaves us, his career starts, bro.
the reason I say that, it's very controversial, is because I feel like because we are kind of mediocre and he's like the star, he's allowed to do what he does. I
Yeah.
feel like in like a Conte side, Conte's benching him, bro.
Yeah, but he wouldn't go. I
Yes.
don't think he'll go to a countryside.
Okay, but if he was at
Yeah, in
Barcelona,
general, I know what you mean. But I
you know
feel
what I'm
like
saying?
if you're a manager, for example, right, and you're buying Rafael Leao now, you're buying knowing that this is what he does, right? So because you're right. Like AC Milan is mediocre and he's the best player, but I think let's say I don't know if he goes to a Chelsea, bro, he's still one of the top players there. So if you're buying him, you need to know that this is what he's gonna do. And I think you're shaping the team to allow him to do that, right? Because,
Is
for
he
example,
good though to build the team around him? I like at Arsenal. I see he's linked to Arsenal, and Arsenal need the left winger because Martinelli
yeah,
is needed.
they do. I think he changed games, bro. The problem is that he changed games when he wants to change
That's
games.
the problem.
Yeah. So obviously, but he does, bro. And like in football, that's probably the hardest thing to find. Someone that can do it on his own. Like
But the
Arsenal
issue,
PSG, he could have got the ball, gone past 4 man, put it in, and Marino would have scored just him. Like, you know what I mean? He can do that. Does he do it enough? No, but he doesn't do it.
nowhere near
I
enough.
just think he doesn't want to do it for us anymore. Bro. Not even anymore. He's not. He's always been 50-50, you know. But I feel like if he goes to a bigger club, and that's crazy to say, bro, because like AC Milan, bro, like I would play for free for AC Milan, yeah. But if he goes to a bigger club, I feel like we'll see a different side of him.
The reason I disagree is because he's been at the club, I think 6 years now, and we every year we're like it's Leao's years, Leao's years, Leao's. Even the year we won the league, he ended well, but he was inconsistent. The maddest thing is this year, yeah. Let me get some stats up. Leao, he's got good stats.
Yeah,
People still think he's had a good season. Like he's got good stats. And the thing with Rafael Leao, yeah, is that let me quickly see if I can get his stats up. I can't get it up right now. Yeah, the thing with Rafa is that we've given him the number 10.
yeah.
Bro, we gave him the contract
Yeah.
that he wanted. Yeah. So this year he's had 12 goals, 13 assists, which like is solid. But yeah, we've given him the number.
Is
10.
that an
We've
all
given him the
comp?
contract that he wanted. All competitions.
Is that good
Do you
numbers?
know what I'm
Bro?
saying? Good numbers, but that's the issue that I think
No,
football
I'm
is so.
asking. I'm asking. I'm asking. Is he
Oh,
good
is that good
numbers?
numbers? I
Because,
think
bro,
he's
there's
solid
38 games. There's 38 games in
in
just
the
the
league.
league.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you got we were in the Champions League.
Yeah,
And then you got the Coppa Italia, which we got quite far in. So that's free competition. Like, I think he can do better than that, bro.
that's the challenge, man. I feel like he plays the game like he's playing, which is great. What makes him great, but that's also his downfall. That I don't think he takes it serious, man. I really,
Yeah, bro. He doesn't.
doesn't
And
take it.
he's, as a fan, it's sad to watch.
It's frustrating.
As a neutral, people love it because sometimes he just turns it on and you're watching the best thing you can, especially if you're in the stadium live. Like a few of my boys went to watch AC Milan PSG and I was supposed to go with them. And bro, like he scored that
It's got the
bicycle
overhead
kick,
kick.
remember, yeah. And he also he was
Bullied them,
running
like
past players, bro.
bullied them.
So obviously when you watch stuff like that as a neutral, you're like, yeah, this player is a player, I want him to my team. But if you don't watch him week in and week out and you just go and type Rafael Leao best bits on YouTube, bro, you think this guy is won 5 Ballon d'Ors back to back.
Man, it's true, it's true. But anyways, we gotta move on. I think if I concur with that. I would sell
Yeah.
Rafael. I would cash in on him. What's the next thing that you would
And
do?
then next thing I do,
Who would you replace him with? That's a good question.
well, it depends on how much money you can get for him, right? And also, I think it's hard because we're a big club, but I don't know if we can attract big players.
And we don't have European football now.
And we don't have European football. So you'd have to go and get players that are happy that AC Milan is coming for them. They're young-ish, and they want to bring AC Milan back to where we should be.
Do you want me to give you a name?
Yeah.
Adamola Lukman.
Yeah, he's had loads of problems with Gasperini, but Gasperini might be leaving to go to Roma. So he
Roma.
might stay in there.
Man, he could be mad.
And would you really leave Atalanta if Gasperini leaves to come to AC Milan at the moment? I don't know. Look, the Catalan, bro. Look at what he's doing.
The
We
case of
sold this guy, and we don't even have anything close to him, bro. Obviously, we got Reinders. I like him. I think he's had a good season. He's linked to Man City, so we don't know whether we're gonna keep him or not. And I think if we sell him, I don't think we'll replace him. But what I would say, I would go big on like young English players.
young
I
English.
like, yeah, bro, because I think the physicality, the pace. I think the Serie A is not as fast, and normally these players come in and they're really fast. Who would I get now that is available? I mean, apart from the fact that Chelsea buys everyone that even moves, all the young players, I don't know what they're trying to build there, but anyways.
See, they got the
But
lap.
say that again?
You see, they got the lap.
Yeah, which I don't really understand, bro. I'll be honest.
They don't rate Jackson. But anyways, we digress.
Who would I buy? That's a hard one.
Yeah.
Because what do I want? I think our defense is not bad. I don't think Kyle Walker signing was the best. Well, it was a loan anyways, but I told you at the time I don't think that made sense. I think Calabria should have.
Alex Jimenez is good, I think. I like Alex.
Yeah, Jimenez is good, but he's on loan. He could go back to Real. I like him. If you could sign him, I would definitely sign him.
No, you know what? I think we bought him, but there's a buyback clause.
Buyback close. Yeah. Whether Xabi Alonso decides to get him back or not, but I would keep him if you could. I really like him. Good player. I think I'll be honest, bro. I don't like our sixes. I don't think Fernando's good enough, bro. I've watched him play so many times, bro, and every time. I don't have hair, but I'm always pulling out my hair, bro. Like, honestly. And he's always trying to shoot from this shot from distance, like he's got a good shot on him, and he doesn't. Yeah. Sometimes he would do the Kessie and drive and go past a few players, and I'm like, okay, so you got something. But then he's not consistent enough, bro. Yeah. When we play against the bigger team, for example, nowhere to be seen, bro. And I don't know if that's just because it's him on his own there, or I don't know. But I would
One of the problems for Fana is that he plays every single game, bro. And like we've both been in sports, when you're tired, you can't perform at your best. And man, and he runs a lot. And we have no other six. Who's other six? Benacer went to Marseille, and
Benacer. How did you feel
We don't
about it?
really have a six. I think it's important that we get a defensive midfielder, like a actual solid defensive midfield. I think the midfield needs work, bro, because I think Loftus Cheek has had a really obviously injury prone
Yeah,
season, doesn't play
yeah.
much. Fofana isn't that good as a six, and he's not bad, but by himself he can't do it.
So
Reinders is
why? So then,
is-
even giving Pobega away, for example, I don't understand that, bro.
that was silly, but Pebega also isn't this good enough, bro.
It's not, but then Pobega and Fofana gives you leg in midfield, which is what you want in that position, right? Fair enough, it's not good enough, but it's what we had, bro.
But
At least we
then
had,
you got to think about formations, right? You have Pogba,
yeah,
and then Reinders has to be the third midfielder,
yeah, he does.
right? And then it's tricky. Like I said, we got the players, but we just haven't we haven't actually just put it all together, man. But
And do you think Allegri will be able to unlock the jigsaw?
you know what? I feel like Allegri will make us solid. I feel like we got a lot of players to sell. So Abraham back to Roma. Thank you very much, bro. Salamakers, you can sell him. Luka Jovic, you can sell him. Samuel Chukwueze, what's his name again?
Chukwueze.
Chukwueze. I actually had high hopes when he came.
I wouldn't sell him, bro. They don't play him.
Yeah,
They
but
don't play him.
when he has played, bro.
Yeah, but bro, like I don't like this thing of I don't like that because ultimately, look, the Catalan, bro. When he did play, he didn't play well, so we sold him. He went to Atalanta. He's now a baller. Yeah. So you have to give players a chance. Obviously, I understand this is the top, right? This is the top. So ultimately, if someone gives you a chance, you got to take it. But I feel like you have to give a player at least
Your
four,
camera,
five games. You know,
bro. Your camera. Oh yeah.
you have to give players at least 4 or 5 games.
I
You
think he's
can't.
had that though. I think it's because there was a point in the season where Chukwueze was actually he got a bit of a run of games, and I was like, okay, good. I've been a Chukwueze fan since he came
Yeah.
in, and then he just didn't do it, bro. I don't know. I don't know. He just didn't. And when I see him, I'm like, bro, like,
But he's come from the bench a couple of times to save us, bro. This season as well.
you
And
haven't.
yeah, fair enough. I fun fact, I actually watched him play at the
Yeah, you need
Ghana
to be.
Ghana Nigeria game.
Yeah, yeah. How was
He
it? How was
didn't
it?
really. He didn't. Considering the teams, I thought he would be one of like the main guys, but I don't think he did much. To be fair, because he's. I remember him being very direct, and now he likes to
Same,
come inside low.
bro. It's jarring.
And I don't get it because I think on a one-on-one you can take on a player, so just do it. Um,
Yeah, I feel like he's lost a bit of confidence. Yeah,
yeah, but that's because of the manager, bro. Like when we first got him, they didn't play him for time, bro. And
yeah.
that's annoying as a player that I think was better than what we had on the pitch, anyways.
I agree. I mean, I think the problem with Chukwueze is that he came at a time that Pulisic was there, so
And fully, yeah,
he struggled to find continuity. But the reason I would sell Samuel Chukwueze is because it's been a couple years now. Diketelare was 1 year. I think that was ridiculous and that was crazy. That
yeah.
was 1 year. But Chukwueze, a couple years. It's been a couple years. But anyways, I say that to say that I feel like Allegri at Milan, he'll make us solid. He'll make us really boring, but he'll make us really solid. Get those 1-0 wins. And we do have some things to look forward to. Like Santi Jimenez, I think he's a good striker. What do you think of Santi Jimenez?
Um, how do I feel about Santi? I'm gonna give him time, right? I think it's hard. I think coming in Jan, I think he's all the stuff. As
Stuff,
a
yeah.
striker, especially, I think. So I want to give him
Mentality.
pre-season. Yeah. So I want to give him pre-season, get used to the team. Obviously, we've seen what he can do. You know, he scored a couple of goals. He's a good player. But we've had these problems with strikers that did in other leagues, and then sometimes not sometimes, they come to AC Milan and it's like they forget how to ball. So yeah, I want to see what he does next season. I'm hoping he does well and he has a good season. I think he will struggle if Reinders leaves. Because I just think Reinders attracts a lot of players to him, which gives space to the strikers to score goals. And just because also I don't know who we would replace Reinders with.
Yeah, I mean, I rate Jimenez from what I've seen. I know he had like a bit of a rough patch, but I think he's a natural nine, which I haven't had since Giroud. I think obviously the Morata experiment didn't go to plan, and he's young. He's young,
Yeah.
so I think I have high hopes for Santi Jimenez, man. So yeah. Anyways, you said you'd sell Leao,
I'll sell it out. I still don't know. I'll definitely buy a 6, but I can't.
buy a six. Yeah, I don't know who, and then
I don't
last
know
thing you
who.
do.
And then I would buy another. Well, I guess we would need a winger. And as you said, I mean, Lookman, I would buy him. I think he'd fit in at the club. We've seen what he can do in the Serie A. We've seen what he can do in Europe as well. He's really come good in recent years, and he's a really good player. If not him, as much as Martinelli's hated by Arsenal, bro,
You could do well in
I
Italy.
would buy Martinelli.
You could do well in Italy.
I would buy Martinelli. Who else is available in that position?
It's an interesting one. I saw, which probably was just a nonsense rumor because I don't understand why. But I saw that Amad Diallo was linked to AC, and I was like, "There's no way United would sell him."
Well, it's linked. Bruno Fernandes might leave.
I saw, to be fair,
And I feel like if Bruno Fernandes leave United, United are finished.
I agree. They're in United. What's wrong with United at the moment? I don't know.
What's right with it?
Yeah,
It's been. I'll be honest, bro. Since I moved to the UK, I think United has always been bad.
yeah,
And it's interesting because when I was living in Italy, United was this massive club, a bit like AC Milan, right? But I think Ferguson had that club in the palm of his hand, and he ran every single thing in that club. Like even listening to old players, they said that he did everything in the club. So you took away the main man, and ever since everything has gone downhill.
Speaking of, we're Curva Chronicles, so we're Serie A, yeah. Man
Yeah,
United has this weird policy of picking up unknown Serie A players that
yeah.
even me as a Serie A watcher, I don't
I
know.
did. Yeah, yeah,
That dude they got from Lecce, he was
yeah.
never good.
I still don't. To be fair, I like him.
He's okay, he runs a lot, but man,
He
bro,
does run a lot.
Højbjerg was never good.
Yeah.
Rasmus Højlund.
Yeah, bro.
Rasmus Højlund was
I never
never
understood
good.
that, especially because that season they brought him. I'm
At
pretty sure
Atalanta,
Zapata was still there, and Haaland played like 5 games or started 5, 6 games, and maybe he had a few goals, but he did not play like that.
I used to tell all my United friends, like, you man spent 70 mil on this dude. I watch Serie A and I have no idea who he
Crazy.
is, bro.
What about? Do you like? What's his name?
Xerxes.
Do you like Xerxes?
No.
But he was alright at Bologna.
He was alright. He wasn't world class, bro.
Yeah, he had a decent season,
He
but
was
again,
alright.
yeah, he
Like,
was.
and obviously the Bologna, like the system's really good. Italiano was there doing his thing. But yeah, then buying Xerxes. I think Xerxes is solid because I think he should have stayed in Italy. Because obviously he came from Bayern Munich where he didn't get many opportunities and he was doing really well in Italy. And if
You
I were
spend
him,
at least
I would
another
stay in Italy.
season.
Right?
Yeah.
I need another season. I think Milan was even wanting him. Like,
Yeah, we did.
it just made sense that players like Lukaku, for example, he's come to understand that like his atmosphere in Italy, he enjoys it more, and he just plays better in Italy. The football is better for his style. And I
Yeah,
feel like that's the thing with Xerxes.
but
That
Lukaku is sort of proven in the Prem. Do you know
yeah,
what I mean? So he's coming to the end of his career, and he's like, quality of life maybe, well, it's a bit hard to say because there
but you
is a
say
bit.
Lukaku's proven in the Prem. Obviously, he came back to Chelsea, and I feel like that was his big, proving point, and it didn't
It
necessarily.
didn't work. You're right. But young Lukaku at West Brom,
Yeah,
like
and
we
Everton.
we've seen what Lukaku can do in the Prem. You're right. I think coming back to Chelsea, I had big expectations for him to be
Same.
honest. And I thought he was going to do well. And I do like him. I'm not going to lie. I like the way he plays. I like the way he holds up the ball. In Italy, he's a field day for him, bro. He's so strong. Defenders struggle so much. And I like that type of player. But I do think it's proven in the sense that we know that he can score goals. And he has had very good season. First at West Brom, then at Everton. Obviously, that was the younger version of him. He went to United. It didn't really work out for him. then went to Inter Milan, that banged. And now he's at Napoli. I think Xerxes, you're right. I think, especially for a young striker, you want to stay in the league where you're doing well and like prove yourself. You know, back-to-back season, you score 15, 20 goals, and then you can say, okay, where do I go now? Who wants me? But then, is it easy to say no to United, bro? Because ultimately, yes, they're doing bad, but it's still a massive club, bro. And you're playing in the Premier League as well.
I hear it. It's true. But another player in recent times, I did some research that United bought from Serie A, Sofian Amrabat.
Amrabat, yeah.
Fam.
I think that was after the World Cup, though.
World Cup, fam.
Yeah.
I never really had... Okay, man played for Morocco, had a good World Cup, but watch him play for Fiorentina, he was never good.
I don't... Is that a good World Cup? And the thing that everyone gassed him about in the World Cup is that, I don't know if you remember that sprint where he was sprinting with Mbappe, and he caught up to him. And they're like, yeah, this guy is a baller. Like, because there was another Moroccan player who went to Marseille, I think, or maybe Real Betis. I don't know if you remember him. Like he was a skinny midfielder. Class. And I think loads of clubs were linked to him, but I don't remember where he went. I need to do my research. But United is a funny one because they buy these players and they don't buy them for cheap, bro. 70 million.
I don't know. Apparently, there's a United tax. They say that as soon as United come for a player, they just say, you man got money. They just add that. Yeah, but it is really interesting. I guess back to Milan. If I was Milan, in charge at Milan, I'd renew Mike Maignan for sure, because I think there's a few issues with renewals. I would sell Leao, I'd cash in on Leao and sell like the excess players, and then just build a strong core. I think it's important that we look at Inter's model. Even Napoli, bro, like they've won 3 Serie A's in 2 years, and their teams aren't crazy dissimilar. When they've got Zambinghisa, I think his name is in midfield.
Yeah.
Like, it's really important that we do that. But next year that we've only got the league, I'd rather just have the league than have like Conference League.
Is it 3 or 2? They won 2, no?
They won 2 in 3 years.
Yeah. Sorry, I thought you said 3. I thought you said 3. Yeah, but who would you start at the back?
So if AC Milan manager, I would start Theo Hernandez left back, even though he pisses me off and he needs to wake up. I would start Tomori with Gabbia, you know. I would do Tomori, Gabbia, and then I would have Alex Jimenez right back. That's what I would do. Maignan at the back.
You don't like Pavlovic?
Pavlovic, he makes way too many marking errors. I think he's very enthusiastic and like he works hard, but
he's keen, mate.
He's then too keen. That's part of his problem.
Yeah.
When I look at some of the goals that we concede, it's like, bro, that is yours. Where
you going?
Yeah. So I love his grinta, as we call it.
Yeah.
But I think Tomori, Gabbia is like a good balance. And Gabby's definitely grown on me. Then in midfield, I would Fofana is a good like squad member. Maybe not first team player.
He doesn't start
I
for
do
me,
agree
bro.
with you. I need a new 6.
Yeah.
And then
even Musa needs to go, bro.
Oh my gosh, Musa. Where do we start with?
Musa needs to go, bro. You know,
I gave him so many opportunities, bro.
Bro,
Musa is very bad at football,
bro. But Fofana's worse, bro. You know they gassed Fofana as the new Kessie, and I don't know. Maybe I'm being too harsh, innit?
You think Fofana's worse than Musa?
I think they're just as bad as each other.
No. Bro, Musa can't play football, bro.
Bro, sometimes I'm watching these men play in the midfield, and I'm like, what is going on, bro? Like, this is like Serie A, bro. It's not even like we're watching. Like, this is the top level football in Italy, bro. And these men, they just like midfield is so important for any team, bro. And our midfield is a one-man midfield, basically.
Nah, man. We can't. I feel like if we sell Reinders, we're fucked.
We are.
If we sell Reinders, we're done, because that will tell me everything I need to know, which I already know about this management. Because, bro, like, do you know how many teams have gone in for Barella? And Inter's like you are not going anywhere.
Yeah, but he's very much like, I love Italy. I
Bro,
wouldn't.
but Sandro Tonali, bro, I'm sure Sandro Tonali wouldn't have left Napoli, wouldn't have left AC Milan.
AC.
Yeah, if we
No, we
should,
kicked him out. We needed the money.
did we?
Well, that's what the club said to him. So the club said to him, "We need the money. You have to go."
So you have to go.
So
Exactly.
he's gone.
That's everything that's wrong, bro. If my
Yeah, yeah.
baby,
But I think AC Milan is in some sort of debt.
no, bro, do you know what's that? So the funny thing is AC Milan brag about the fact that they're in the green. So they're
Yeah.
actually not in there and they're actually in profit. But that's actually the problem with the team because the management see it, obviously the Americans, they see it as a business. So
Yeah, but that's what
focus on
football
profit.
is. Yeah, that's what football is
Whereas
now.
Inter Milan, and it's funny because I remember that I saw this interview where the AC Milan owner was laughing at Inter. I was like, we don't want to be like Inter because they're actually in mad debt, and we have like a cap on our wages. Like AC
Yeah.
Milan, Rafa Leao gets the highest wages. I think it's 5 mil,
Yeah.
and Thuram gets like 8 mil, just for
But
context.
how crazy is it, bro, that the cat, like, in Italy, you don't actually get that big of wage, bro.
No, you
I
don't.
mean, I'll take 5 mil, don't get me
Of
wrong.
course, but when you compare
But
it to
look
like,
at
the
the
Premier
Prem.
League, bro, the
Yeah.
Premier League 5 million is like a
Yeah, bro.
table team, bro.
I think 5 mil is something that someone in Leicester would take, bro, yearly.
Precisely,
But
precisely.
that's also the problem, bro. I feel like there's no money in Serie A.
Yeah, man.
Like, they this thing that the Premier League is the best league in the world, bro. Like, I don't buy it. Innit? I've never bought it.
I don't think the Premier League is the best
But
league.
it's the league that gets the most money, bro.
Yes.
And ultimately, with money, if you have the right management, you can do a lot, bro. You know, how can Nottingham Forest spend more money than AC Milan in
Yeah,
a
Nottingham
transfer
Forest has more
window,
money
bro?
than AC. But I think it's also the most entertaining league. It's crazy. Sometimes I always watch AC Milan games and very tactical, like you said, quite defensive, quite careful. And then I watch a Premier League game and it's like
So
basketball.
open,
Bam,
yeah,
bam, 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 bam.
yeah,
But the thing is, football is cyclical because that was Serie A in the 80s, bro. We
yeah.
were the league where everyone came, where we had the most money.
Even
Now
in
it's
the
the Premier
'90s,
League.
bro.
Even in the 90s. Now it's the Premier League, so it'll be interesting to see, when that shift happens, if that shift happens. I know that it seems as though they're going to be the dominant force forever, but I like to believe that football's cyclical, man.
It is, and I guess that can be seen with United and your AC Milan's, right? You go through good bits and then
Look at Liverpool, man. Liverpool, when we first came to the UK, they had Fabio Borini, they
yeah,
had
bro.
Lambert. Liverpool was
They had Aquilani.
Aquilani,
That's
bro.
crazy.
Liverpool were
Aquilani.
terrible, fam. And now, they've just won the league. So football is cyclical, and yeah. But Champions League final tomorrow, bro. We've got 7 minutes left. Let's talk about the Champions League final tomorrow.
Crazy.
I'll go first. I'm gonna put my neck on the line and say that this is Paris Saint-Germain's time. And I'm saying Inter is gonna have zero titoli. That's what I'm saying, bro. I'm saying I'm saying 3-1 to PSG. And I know it's crazy because Inter don't concede many goals, but I'm saying 3-1. I'm going Ousmane Dembele, Hakimi. Hakimi's gonna score and celebrate.
I don't think it's so.
I'm going Ousmane Dembele, I'm going Hakimi, I'm going Kvaratskhelia. That's what I'm saying, bro. 3-1 PSG. What are you saying?
I'd love to sit here and say I believe what you just said. I would love it, bro. I swear, I wouldn't. And maybe I should just say it for the sake of saying it. But I think Nerazzurri might surprise you tomorrow, man. I think if you look at it now, bro, obviously PSG basically won everything that there is to win in France. And this would just be, the cherry on top. I think PSG deserve it, and for the sake of football, I'd love to see PSG win it. Because ultimately, they were this team that used to buy superstars. Now
Honestly.
they got rid of all of them, and they play very attractive football. I really enjoy watching it, right? And I think Inter played the opposite, right? Not unattractive football, because I think when Lautaro and Thuram have the ball, like, they do put nice passage of plays together. Like, as much as I don't like them, they do. When I watch them, sometimes it's entertaining. I just think, Inter losing to City in the final few years back, as you said, the team is the same. They have that experience. They have that a little bit of know-how. And I think Inter might win 2-1 Inter Milan, I think.
Yeah.
And I think Lautaro and Dumfries.
You know what? Like I think Inter's a big threat. I hate them, so I guess I'm talking more from my heart than my head.
Oh, fair enough. Then PSG
Yeah,
win,
yeah,
bro.
yeah, yeah. Because
3-0.
my head tells me what you said that, and you see it often where teams almost make it to the Champions League, they get to the final, they lose, and then they keep the core. Couple years later, they make it and they win. It happens a
City
lot.
against Chelsea, they lost 1-0. They lost
Exactly,
Aguero, fair enough. They got Haaland in, and then they went and won
exactly.
it.
They won it.
I just think, as much as I hate it, I think this is the year where Inter Milan might win it again. Uh, it's so funny. I saw a comment from Mourinho saying, "I didn't want Inter
So
Milan to do the triplete." That's
that's
me, bro.
mine.
That's
Mourinho's a
mine.
G. Man said, I was happy when they didn't win the triple. What a genius. What a genius.
um, but yeah, I think it's gonna be a good game.
Yeah.
I hope he's a good game. I would love a game similar to Inter Milan and Barcelona. Give me a 4-3 or a 5-4. Because recent times final, bro, they have not been it, man.
I think it will be a boring final.
Yeah.
I say that because it is a final, and Barcelona, they got that out of Inter. Like, they're crazy. If you think about like their games this year, they've won El Clásicos 4-0, they've
Yeah,
won
yeah.
5-4, they've done some crazy stuff.
But that's why I wanted them to be in the final. Because with
Yeah.
them, it wouldn't have been a
It would have
boring
been
game.
entertaining.
It would have
It
been
would have been
entertaining.
entertaining.
I think it would have been loads of goals. Whether they won or I don't know who would have won. It would have been a really good game. But it would have been at least 5-6 goals. And that's what I want. That's what we want to see. That's what football is about. Obviously, the goals. But you're right. It is an Italian team as well, bro. Like, they're going to defend for their lives and play the counter-attack.
Five at
Which
the
I think
back.
suits them perfectly because of the way PSG plays. And that's why I think they can do it. But I really like this PSG team. I don't know,
Yeah.
I feel some way, bro, because I don't know if I want Donnarumma to win it.
Donnarumma, man. Donnarumma. You know what? If Donnarumma can do hella saves and keep Inter away from the Champions League, I might forgive him a little bit.
I don't know, man. When he came back to Milan, they were throwing dollars with his face on it.
Oh, Donnarumma. I know it's sad, man, when you think about it. Obviously, we got quite fortunate. Mike Magnana had no
Yeah,
idea who he was at the time, and he ended up being a huge success. But
yeah.
that's part of the problem, man. We're selling our best young Italian players that can be the heart and soul of the club.
But
Let's
they
let them
also,
go.
well, apart from Sandro Tonali, which I still love,
Yeah.
and I would love him back at the club, but Donnarumma wanted to leave because he didn't believe in the project,
Yeah,
right?
he's a salad. And he went for free.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's an idiot. I can't
And
rate.
the year before, we gave him a contract, which
Yeah,
included a contract of his brother that never played for us.
facts.
And we paid his brother just so that he could stay.
Yeah, a million a year. Yeah, yeah.
So how
It's
far
true.
can you stretch as a club, right? If someone wants to go, then
Then you gotta go. Then
you
you
have
have
to
to go.
go, man. There's nothing bigger than the club.
I totally agree. All right, last topic. We can't leave without speaking about the MVP of the Serie A this year, which was
Got the
Super
time.
Scott McTominay.
I've
Man,
always liked him, I'll be honest. I've always liked him. I never saw him as a defensive midfielder, which
agreed.
is what they were trying to play him at United, crazy work. Because he always scored so many goals and you knew that he had that threat.
You know, he used
But
to
I've
play as a
always
nine
liked him.
in the youth team.
He goes about his business. He doesn't really he's not someone that talks much. Talks a lot on the pitch. I just like his personality. I like what he's done in Italy. And I'm happy for him. I am happy for him. I'm also happy for Gilmore. I remember Gilmore coming out at Chelsea when he was young and he was supposed to be this next star. And he played well and then he went to Brighton, and now at Napoli he's had a great season. But Scott, bro, big up Scott.
Fun fact: Scott McTominay used to play as a nine in the youth leagues.
Oh, there you go. That
He used
makes
to
all
play
this sense.
as a
You see
nine.
his last goal, bro. I saw bare Napoli fans with tatuaggio.
Oh,
The lot of
Scott
the
McTominay.
shaka.
Yeah? Oh, really?
Yeah, they have the tattoo of him
Of
doing
him doing the
the
bicycle
bicycle kick.
kick. Yeah, yeah.
I
He's had
mean,
a great season. He's a great player. I remember when he played against us at San Siro, and he was looking like prime Zidane. Fam. I was like, what the heck
yeah,
is going
bro,
on here?
he's
Playing around.
because he's got that freedom now with Ngissa that does that holding position,
Yeah.
he
And
can do
Gilmore.
whatever he wants.
And Gilmore.
And Gilmore. He
Yeah.
can do whatever he wants. And
And
I
Gilmore.
think that's what he needed, but he didn't get that at United.
Yeah, man. I think Scott McTominay is a big baller, and he's always been a baller. The only annoying thing when these Premier League players do well is that it exacerbates people's opinion that
The
Serie A
Serie A is dead.
is dead.
Yeah, yeah.
And
But the
that's
Serie A is dead all the time. But Inter Milan, what is it, 4 years, 2 finals? Apparently the
you
Serie
know,
A is dead.
there are no
Um,
British teams in the Champions League final right now.
but they'll tell you, oh, Europa League, 2 English teams, the Conference League, Chelsea won it. I mean, bro, the fact that, anyways, that's the topic for another day. I'm not even gonna get into that.
All right, cool. Well, we're gonna wrap it. I'm saying 3-1 PSG. JK saying
2-1 Inter
Inter
Milan.
Milan. And yeah, we'll catch you guys next week. This has been the Curva Chronicles episode 1. See you soon.
Peace out. See you soon.